I'm a fluid artist. Today I'm going to show you how I finish my resin coaster edges 4 different ways. In the first part of this video, I'm going to show you the different materials that I have used for edging the coasters. And in the second part, I'll actually walk you through the process. I'll demonstrate putting the edges on a set that has just finished curing. This one here, I think they look so beautiful just as they are, but I painted on the golden edges and you can see how it just adds even a more finished look. It's so beautiful with the gold on there. And what I did these ones with is a liquid gold paint. I think it was called Montmartre, and there's a picture of it there in the corner. Gold foil paint. You use a paintbrush and actually paint it on, and it's absolutely beautiful. I put it on pretty thick, otherwise you could do 2 thinner coats. It took a little while to dry, maybe a day to be fully dried, but it's like a pale gold, very shiny, and I'm really happy with it. And I think it was maybe just under $10 from Amazon. The second set was a different product for the edges. It's this gold leaf marker here, Edding, and it turns out really, really shiny and beautiful. It's very easy to use. You just shake the marker, depress the tip a little bit, and the ink, the paint, the gold paint kind of starts flowing out. It's very easy to use. It's pretty quick to dry, and it gives a stunning finished result. This was also just on Amazon, I think probably around the same price. And I'm gonna say that it lasts me for a dozen or so coasters. There's a silver version too. I think there's several different colors. I've tried the gold and silver. The silver is beautiful. I tend to like gold edges better, but some people prefer the silver accents. So for those sets, I've used this pen. And I think the results are great. Very shiny, again, very easy to use as well. And I love how the coasters look used with wine glasses because you can see through the base. Here's a third way that I have edged coasters, and it's with the Jacquard Pinata, the brass alcohol ink. This is harder to use because it's really runny. You have to use a paintbrush, and the metallic tends to kind of separate with the liquid. But it is absolutely beautiful on the edges of the coaster. And the brass, it's a gold tint. It just looks gorgeous. You can see it here on these pretty maroon and green Christmassy ones. And it looks like it has a little bit more of a texture, kind of a grainy look almost. And it's very natural looking. It's very gold. You can see how I'm showing you how it's running a little bit on the edges. It was a bit drippy and harder to control definitely than the pens, than the markers. But I didn't mind that look on these coasters with a little bit of like the running. But the color is just so shiny and sparkly. Love it. This would not be my go-to though, just because of how it took me maybe 2 to 3 coats to get the level of opacity that I wanted, and it was just a little bit harder to work with and not get the alcohol ink where I didn't want it to go. Here's a third paint marker that I've used. It's the Deco Color Gold Leaf Marker. What I like about this one is it has a chiseled tip, and it was nice for running along the flat edges of the coaster. Again, you just shake it and depress the tip several times until it fills with ink. And I think what I liked about this one also was the layer was very thick. You only had to go over once. With the Edding marker, sometimes I had to do 2 coats. Not always, but the Deco Color one seemed to run out a little bit thicker. And as you can see, the tip on this one's more rounded, so it kind of depends on what kind of surface area you're trying to cover. These also come in a more of a finer line as well. So I really liked them both, and I think they were similar price points. So this one was my favorite, the liquid gold leaf to paint on. I think because it was honestly, it was the fastest, and I really did like that pale gold look a little bit more than the shiny, the yellowy gold. I think it was just a bit more elegant. But it depends on the color of the coasters and the style I'm going for. All of these I thought were great ways to edge the coasters, and let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. And also if you have a different way to edge coasters that I can learn about. So the one on the right is that alcohol ink, the brass. So you can see them all next to each other, see which one you like the best. That's the Jacquard Pinata. The second one is that liquid gold leaf, the Montmartre. The third one is the Edding gold leaf marker. And then the fourth, of course, is the marker in silver. So there are the 4 ways that I have used to edge my coasters. And now I'm going to show you the process of putting on those edges. I'm going to use the Edding gold marker for these black and white ones. They're going to look really classy. They'll be a New Year's gift. And the set's going to go along with this little wine butler. And you put over the wine bottle, and then you can hang wine glasses onto the sides of it. So I just shake up this pen, and during the process of painting, if it's not flowing out very well, you just keep shaking it and pressing the tip, and that'll make the ink come, holding it with the point down. I always have a paper towel handy just to clean up, and this dries pretty fast, so if you do get the gold where you don't want it to go, just real quick wipe it off before it dries, because it's really hard to get off after it does. It's very permanent, which is nice for the edges of the coasters. I've never had to put any kind of sealant over the top of them. They tend to stay really well long term. So I'm literally just coloring the edges. Sometimes I go over it twice, but mostly just once, and just kind of back and forth until it's opaque. It's really easy to use, and it's fun too. Just speed this up and finish this coaster. After I go around the edges, then I give it a little bit of a lip. I go onto the front and the back just a bit. I think this really completes the look, makes it very finished. And then I'm going to do that on the front side as well. I let these coasters have 2 layers of resin, and I let them cure at least 24 hours before doing anything with the edges. So I'm going to go on to the second one now. These are like a geode shape coasters. It looks pretty neat with the hole in the middle, and I do gold around that hole as well. So here I go, quickly doing the second one. And another thing that I should mention too is before doing the edge, I will kind of glance over the coaster, and if I see any sharp edges, like sharp pieces coming up, I'll just take a little bit of sandpaper, sand it till it's smooth. Also, I use an X-Acto knife as well to cut off any sharp pieces that are coming up. It takes about 5, maybe 10 minutes to do one coaster complete with the edges with this marker. Sometimes I'll go back and just touch up a couple places if the paint looks thin. Doesn't that look awesome? It's very classy. I love that finished look with the gold. and I let it dry on something with an open top, like a glass here or a jar, just so the edges aren't sticking to anything. Here's a little pan of my workspace just so I can show the different coaster sets I've got going on right now. It looks kind of like a big jumbled mess, but in the end it will all be sorted out. And I love these colors here on this set. I think it's so beautiful. So this is the finished product. It's all dry now, and I'm just going to put it over here for display so you can see the whole thing together and how the wine butler is used. I think this will make a really nice gift. So you just place that wine butler on the bottle there, and then you can hang your glasses on it. It's so fun. Fun for display and for gifting. Let me know how you guys edge your coasters, and if you're gonna give this a try, I'd love to see a photo of your results. And also give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I would love to connect with you. So I hope you stop by my little art studio again sometime. Thanks so much for watching. It's so fun to do what I love and be able to share it with you guys. Cheers. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments how you finish your coaster edges, and I hope we can learn from one another. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I post new videos about different fluid art tips, tricks, inspiration, and demonstrations, and I hope to see you in another video. Take care. God bless.